what was your moment of insight when you knew that FTWZ can change the global trade game in India?
So this policy has been introduced in 2006. Before that, also people used to import, but there are lots of problems the trade is facing.
So that means foreign companies do not have an option to use a custom audit warehouse.
No, consent will be an Indian company. When overseas companies sending the material, they are sending the material in their own name. They don't have any legal entity in India, so they cannot send the material to India without having a consent. Here, the free zone comes in the picture.
And I'm pretty sure when these delays are happening, they might often lead to circumstances such as rising of detention and demurrage charges.
Yes, huge.
48 hours seems to be a very committed time. I mean, how do you prepare yourself?
So before getting the material in the warehouse, we do compliance check of each and every of the document well in advance.
And it's been a common theory that India keeps on renegotiating and signing new free trade agreements with various countries. How does that affect the supply chain?
See, free trade agreement is something different between the FTWC business.
I mean, there might be many foreign companies who would want to utilize the Indian free trade warehousing zones.
The overseas suppliers can use this facility as a Asian hub or mother warehouse for Asia.
Would you say that companies are still making minute mistakes while planning their supply chain?
People will be making lots of mistakes while preparing the documents, which can normally delay the shipments at the port.
FTWZ seems to be like a safe haven for the cargo that is kept inside. So does that mean I require no insurance to store the cargo there?
The accident can happen anywhere, anytime.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you tune into our last episode, where we discussed about the basic fundamentals of an FTWZ, the benefits around it, today we are going to take some time out to deep dive into the deeper waters of an FTWZ. Having said that, we want to explore the compliances and the regulatory bit around the concept. To discuss that, we have with us a very special guest with us today, the Director of Regulatory and Compliance, Mr. E.S. Shankar, who has over 30 years of experience in the international trade. You are a veteran in this industry. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Before I start on to the technical side of questioning, I just wanted to understand how you have seen the Indian supply chain evolve and what made you get into an FTWZ field of work. I mean, and now you have set up one of the leading companies in FTWZ, what was your motivating factor to enter into this field?
Yeah, since I was in this trade for the last many years, and day by day I was asked to provide the goods to be delivered on time over here, which was very next to impossible, at least in India, since it is not in the control of anyone.
Yeah.
Maybe delays happen through the shipping lines, airlines, or in customs or international, whatever it would be. So it was in my mind since the 2006, I can say, no, 2002, that if we have such a setup over there in India, then it will be a revolution, and the importer can be avail this facility as a just in time. Since then, I was working something to have something over here. Meantime, government had introduced the same policy in 2006, and I was the first one of the person to be happy to have such a facility in India.
Really, the first one?
For the first one of the, I cannot say
One of-
that I am only the one, but maybe the one of the person.
Hmm.
And that was a very simple manner they have introduced in a single line. They said that under SCC, FTWC policy has been introduced or something like. So there is no policy even now. Still, there is no proper policy or something has been made. But in two lines, they have introduced this FTWC in India. The day one, when I saw that message, I have started to working something to have in India. And in 2010, one of the company she had started over there, and I was also participant in that. Then later on, I have set up our own FTWs in India.
Must have been a David and Goliath story starting by yourself and setting up such a big company must have been a huge lot of work to be done.
Yes, of course, because there is no clear policy available in India.
Is it?
So yeah, even now there is no policy for FTWC.
Okay.
So this is learning by doing. Whatever are there, if we are introducing something to the customs, custom may be accept, custom may not accept, and after having almost 19 years after introduction of this policy in India, every customs, the policy is only one, the
Yes.
FTWC is only one for India, but all the customs pan India are treating their own way. So still there has to be lots of clarity and clearance start to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, there are lots of challenges what we have gone through. We have introduced lot of the process SOPs which the government had accepted, and we are moving towards the growth.
What was your moment of insight? Did you see or learn about the concept somewhere else? What was your moment of insight when you knew that OS FTWZ can change the global trade game in India?
Yeah. See, first of all, if you want to import anything, this is basically for import and exports, FTW, Free Trade Warehousing Zone. If you talk about something import, it is happening since the day one.
Yes.
So this policy has been introduced in 2006. Before that also people used to import. But there are lots of problems the trade is facing. If you are importing anything in India, then you have to do the clearance very fast. Otherwise, you will have to pay the detention demurrage to the liners, ground rent to the CFS or ICD or something. And there is always there are some delays in custom clearance because you cannot predict the custom clearance time. So, if you are, I was thinking that how we can come out from these problems. If you have a, because other countries are having the similar facility or same facility like Dubai, China, and other countries. So we have lots of option to do that, so that the importer can avail this facility mainly for importer for exporters. Like exporters are here, depend upon other countries to import raw material, bring it over here, convert into finished goods and export, and it's a time bound business. So if you want to do everything within the time, then you have to have the material upfront. Otherwise, if you are depend on the international logistic or other things, then it will be very challenge. So the free zone. So I was thinking that if we have such a similar facility like EVU China, if you are going to EVU China, you can find everything over there from all over the world. In one roof, one place, you will find all the things. So I was also having the thought in my mind that if we can invite the overseas customers, suppliers, exhibiting their product over here, and for Indian traders, if it can be a window shopping. So now it is in practical. The people in India are doing the window shopping. They are not blocking their money in other ways, like investing the duty in advance and a lot problem. But now, yes, it is streamlined almost by introducing this free trade zone, free trade warehousing zone.
Okay. When you say window shopping, I mean, does it mean that the product is readily available to them?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. See, there are two ways. Either the overseas supplier can use this facility as their virtual warehouse.
Okay.
They can export the material in their name and keep it over here without having any legal entity in India.
Without having any legal.
Without having any legal entity in India.
So, but
So shipper and exporter will be same.
okay.
And they can see in logistics, if you are importing any small material, if you are importing any small material, that is going to have a more logistic cost and delay also. If the same cost they can have, they can import more material, more volume. So basically in import and exports, if you can control the logistic cost, that means you are having a control on your export as well as imports in terms of cost. So overseas suppliers are exporting the material in bulk, keeping it over here. Now the Indian importer can go and see the material. They can feel it. Literally, they can feel it.
Okay.
Then only they can make the payment to the supplier and take the delivery within 24 to 48 hours. And nobody can give any commitment in India for normal import like 24 to 48 hours. because
Okay.
there can be any problem in the customs, there can be any problem with the documentation and everything. But when you are importing the material in the free zone, we are checking thoroughly all the document and readily available over there for release to India. So there cannot be any further delay in custom side because all the things has been done well in advance.
Okay.
For Indian importers, yes, it's up to them to check the quality, check the quantity, whether it is, then they can feel it, then pay directly to the customer, take the delivery from here.
So, sir, you said clearances in 24 to 48 hours. I'm pretty sure that would require a lot of work to be done and everything needs to be in order. But would you say that companies are still making minute mistakes while planning their supply chain, while bringing the goods into India, which might further delay the supply chain or the clearance process that happens?
There are lots of problems are there. See how the free trade warehousing zone is helping in this. First of all, our
Mhm.
exporter may not be very experienced about Indian customs. So normally what do you need to import and export? You have to have a basic documents, invoice, packing list, and the shipping documents like bill of lading or AV bill.
And that is true for either a foreign customer or an Indian customer.
Everywhere in the world. These are the basic documents. But sometimes the customer demand for the certificate of origin.
Hmm.
Sometimes to establish the country of origin, to pass on the benefit, or even to control whether it is coming from the blacklisted countries or like prohibited countries like Syria, North Korea, or something. So customer demand. So people will be making a lots of mistakes while preparing the documents, which can normally delay the shipments at the port.
And I'm pretty sure when these delays are happening, they might often lead to circumstances such as rising of detention and demurrage charges.
Yes, huge.
And you think that an FTWZ or specifically OSV FTWZ can help mitigate that?
Of course, yes. See, when you are importing in material, if your documents are not perfect, then the first you have to file the bill of entry with the customs and upload all the document. Then you have no option to rectify it.
Yes.
Then custom will put an objection over that. Then you have to obtain a new set of document. Again, you have to upload. There can be some delay.
Hmm.
If you are importing anything by air, you have maximum 2 days for 48 hours or something free time to get the goods cleared. Within the time, if you don't clear the customs objections, then you have to pay huge detention to airport authority. Huge means about 4 rupees 75 paise or 5 rupees something per kg per day.
Per kg per
Per
day.
day. And if you have all the documents well in advance, you can do the clearance. But when you're filing the documents in Delhi, this can be assessed in Mumbai or Chennai or some other place. The offices are not sitting in Delhi itself.
Okay.
Now it's a faceless assessment.
Okay.
So depend upon the officer's mood or depend upon your document, the clarity. If it is everything is clear, it may assessed well. Well in time. Otherwise, if there is a delay, then you will have to pay the detention and demurrage. As I said, that for 75 paise or something per day per kg. Once you have completed all the documents, again custom can raise some other queries. So if there is a repeated three queries, then this will pass on to some other location.
Location.
If the objection has been raised from Mumbai customs, it can go to Chennai. So it is not in your hands. You cannot go and meet the custom officials and get it clear.
Okay.
So there are lots of other problems also. But when you are using free trade warehousing zone, the goods are coming to the port. We are filing all the bill of entry well in advance with our own custom sitting in the zone itself. Then moving the material from the port to our place is only 24 to maximum 48 hours. Why 48 hours? Maybe because of some holidays,
Mm-hmm.
or we haven't received the due delivery order on time.
Okay.
That's all. Upon getting the delivery order, you can move the material to the zone maximum to maximum 24 hours.
Okay.
So, very negligible chances are there for paying any detention demurrage in case of FTWZ, because all the custom formality has been done in the free trade warehousing, not at the base port where you are importing the material. So, FTWZ can help a lot to bypass all these charges, detention, the penalty, detention demurrage, and other things.
FTWZ seems to be a huge money saver for importers or traders who want to just bring in their goods and want to just mitigate the challenges of high cost arising due to detention and demurrages, right? And I could also assess that timely commitments can also be met utilizing an FTWZ.
Yes.
48 hours seems to be a very committed time. I mean, how do you prepare yourself so that you can meet these timelines of 48 hours shipments? Are there any compliance checks that you do?
Yeah, as I said that we are giving 24 to 48 hours after receiving the material in the warehouse.
Hmm.
Okay, so before getting the material in the warehouse, we do compliance check of each and every of the document well in advance and get it corrected if it is required before filing with the customs.
Okay.
So we have a dedicated team to check all the documents, and if there is anything, we are communicating the same with the customer and getting corrected. And once the shipment is there in the warehouse, we have a quality check in the sense package and everything, quantity also we do check in the warehouse itself, and get ready for the outbound. So when the customer asks us to do the outbound over there, we take the invoice from the customer to file the bill of entry outbound, and we prepare the checklist and get it verified from the customer and get ready over there. See, if there is any emergency also, if we file the paper in the morning, we can do the delivery by the evening. How it is possible? Because we have a proper thorough compliance check well in advance before arriving the material in the warehouse. So there are very little chance for any delay unless until there is a holiday or any system down or anything. Other from our side, 24 to 48 hours good enough to do the custom clearance.
FTWZ seems to be like a safe haven for the cargo that is kept inside. So does that mean I require no insurance to store the cargo there?
No, 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 no. Of course not. Of course not. See, regarding the insurance is mandatory for every moment. If you are importing anything from USA or China or Germany to India or vice versa from India to anywhere, before moving the material from the warehouse itself, you have to have the insurance because the accident can happen anywhere, anytime. Similarly, we have to have this insurance in the freight on warehousing zone also
Mhm.
because anything can happen over there in natural calamities, fire, or a pilferage or anything can happen. So the only the OSV FTWC in India is providing the insurance coverage to their customer. Comprehensive insurance we have taken, and we are providing the services to the customer, so they can blindly keep the material in the free zone with having the full confidence on OSV that if our material are safe over there with the maximum coverage of a comprehensive insurance in India.
OSV FTWZ does surely offers me the confidence to keep my cargo there.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I was reading the news today as well, and it was in the news today that India also signed an FTA, a free trade agreement with New Zealand today. And it's been a common theory that India keeps on renegotiating and signing new free trade agreements with various countries. How does that affect the supply chain for somebody who wants to bring their goods from these countries into India? Does importing goods into an FTW into a FTWZ offers any kind of advantages?
See, free trade agreement is something different between the FTWC business.
Okay.
See, FTWC you have to consider as a just in time. Free trade agreement help you to exchange the material duty concessional or duty free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so mainly the free zones are using for just in time and deferring the custom duty. In case of free trade agreement, there may be 100% duty, if that is not under free trade. There may be concession duty, that may be under free trade agreement. There may be duty zero. So if it is duty zero, then they have an option whether to route it to the free zone or direct to import. Since if they don't want to defer the custom duty, why do they opt for this? But we have a customers, overseas customers, who are using our free trade zone for just in time purpose, even though there is a FTA for the particular product.
Is
Because
it?
FTA is for a product and the nation, between the nation for a product. It doesn't mean that you can do all the product export without paying any duty or concession. That is not there. FTWZ are using mainly not only for deferring the custom duty, but for mainly for the just in time purpose. So that customer is using our three warehouses, Chennai, Mumbai, as well as Noida, and exporting bulk cargo over here. And for the importers, further, they are doing just window shopping. As and when they need, they take the delivery, and we are providing the delivery to their warehouse on almost daily basis.
So when you say just in time, is it only just in time for the Indian market, or someone can utilize it as a hub for, let's say, the Southeast Asia market or as such? I mean, there might be many foreign companies who would want to utilize the Indian free trade warehousing zones to facilitate this business. Would
Yes,
you say, have you seen this change or shift in the trade corridors?
yes, it is. See, first of all, again, you have to consider about the logistic time and cost.
Hmm.
We used to send a material to USA sea air mode,
See,
sea and air mode, both. See, if I'm sending by ocean, it may take 30, 40 days. If I'm sending by ocean till Singapore, then from there to save the logistic cost. So you can use this FTWC also in this multiple mode, multi-mode. Like if you are they are sending the material to free zone by ocean in advance, welling over here, and if you want to deliver the material to neighboring countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Dubai, or Singapore or somewhere, then from here we can send it by air. So cutting down the logistic cost a lot, plus transit time would be very fast, because from here to we have a regular flights from here to almost all neighboring countries, and in few hours time it can reach over there. And from free zone, if you are exporting anything, you do not need to take any permission or anything. Just file the shipping bill and
mhm.
export it. Only the condition is you have to have a connecting flight. If you have a connecting flight, you can commit the delivery within 24 hours to neighboring countries,
Okay.
where I said. Yeah. So the overseas suppliers can use this facility as a Asian hub or mother warehouse for Asia, send the metal in bulk, and from here we can do consolidation, deconsolidation, and export it to other countries. That will be more faster and cheaper also.
True. So does that mean if a, let's take an example of a company that is not registered in India, a foreign company perhaps, and they want to store their goods, do they have to meet with any kind of compliances while they're storing their goods inside an FTWZ? I mean, or is it just an easy path for them? It would be as good as they are storing their goods in their own warehouse at any place in the world.
You, in your question itself, there is an answer. The
Mhm.
law said it is their own warehouse. It's a virtual
Mhm.
warehouse.
It is a
They,
virtual.
yeah, they do not need to take any legal entity in India, like registering the company here, appointing the staffs. Nothing is required. Just they have to get it registered with us with a simple KYC documentation.
Mhm.
And this is backed to the government of India, and we will be signing an agreement with the customer, and the agreement as well as along with the KYC is getting submitted to the government of India. So you can treat this as a your virtual warehouse. You can export the material. I said it in the very first itself. You can export this material in your name into the free zone
Mhm.
without having any legal entity in India.
But if I talk about the KYC process, you said that you would be signing an agreement with the companies who want to bring their goods inside a free trade zone. You would be signing an agreement with them, and there would be a KYC process. I mean, is it mandatory, or can they overcome
No,
with?
it is mandatory.
Okay,
It is the KYC is mandatory as per government of India also, to understand about the customer, their product,
okay.
but it's a simple way. See what exactly the documentations are required. If for the foreign customer, we have to have the passport copy of the customer,
Mhm.
the management, and we have to sign an agreement and the company registration. Very few documentations are required. If it's Indian company, we have to have their Aadhaar and some bank statement for the last 3 years. Not bank statement exactly, their return, balance sheet or return is required for the last 3 years, and they can start the business. So it's a matter of only 2 to 3 hours to get it registered with OSV.
It seems pretty easy to do the KYC process and start to operate out of a free trade zone. So is it all hunky dory for them, for the companies who set up? I mean, there are no mismatches in the documents, or if at all there are any mismatches in the documents, how does an FTWZ ecosystem prevent such escalations?
See, first of all, when we have a set of document for KYC, for Indian customer and overseas customer separately. So upon getting all the documents, we have a department to verify each and every documents. Okay, if there is any missing, then of course we will be demanding. Yes, sometimes I have seen that some customer don't want to share their balance sheet or bank statement or something which a government mandatory required list, I mean, as per the list. See, that is a concern, baseless concern. If you are a private limited company, your balance sheets are already uploaded. It can be easily downloaded.
Okay.
Okay, and we are not asking anything. Just to be, the government want to see about your credential, whether you are a genuine importer or exporter. Likewise, overseas customer, because there are lots of bogus companies are there all over the world. They wanted to use our facility for routing their illegal material. So we, as well as, especially we, as well as government, also wanted to know who the company is there. So that's the reason we are asking for some basic documents by the, and our backend team are verifying those things about the company structure, status, and the owner details and everything. And 19% there is no problem at all, but there are few concern about some customers where why should I give my financial status to you, which are there they already there in the public portal, and I don't think so that they need to worry about to share with us. And whatever the document you are sharing with us is 100% safe. We are not sharing with anyone, but of course with the government, because that is a mandatory requirement.
Okay. So once a company has done the KYC process and they have onboarded themselves inside an FTWZ, so they are okay to re-export also. And can they do zone-to-zone transfers? I'm pretty sure there might be multiple zones inside India itself. So are there any common mistakes that one should take care of while having to facilitate their business from an free trade zone?
See, the common mistakes when they are doing this zone to zone transfer or releasing to DTA or exporting, people are thinking that this is a virtual warehouse. I have imported at the price of 100x, 100 rupees, and I'm releasing at 80 rupees. I can do undervalue just to save the custom duty. That is not possible, because you have already recorded the price while importing. Then unless until you have a genuine reason for devalue, the custom will not accept that. Yes,
Okay.
you can escalate the price, you can add the price, your margin. There is no limit for to add the margin, but that has to be justifiable. But if you do undervalue or something, then custom may stop the shipment, because
Okay.
people wanted to try, route the material importing at one zone and shift it to another zone at another price and third zone, just to manipulate the things. That is the main mistakes they are doing, and sometimes the customer is raising the questions and block the shipments. Otherwise, zone to zone movements are very easy. File the bill of entry from where you are sending the material, and you can send the material within 24 hours. Not a
Okay.
problem. It is officially doable.
It is doable.
Officially doable.
Officially doable.
Yes, but zone to zone means free zone to any special economic zone,
Okay.
free zone to any 100% EOUs, or free zone to any custom bonded warehouse where the controls are there. But if you want to do the movement from between free trade zone to free trade zone, which is controlled now, because people had misused the facility, as I said, that manipulating the goods as well as the cost. So government have put this under notice that unless until you have a special permission to move the material to free zone is not possible now, for the time being.
Okay. So if anyone wants to move the goods from free zone to free zone, is it completely not possible, or it can be done by obtaining certain permissions?
It is restricted, not prohibited.
Okay.
Restricted means you have to take a permission from your development commissioner. You have to request for the reason why do you want to send the material from this free zone to another free zone, because again you are sending over there for either DT release for export purpose, which you can do it here itself. So why do you want to move the material from one zone to another zone? You have to have a valid answer for that, and you will get it.
Okay. So you talked about restrictions, and right now, when I hear the word restrictions, a custom bonded warehouse comes to mind. In our last session as well, we discussed in details what are the major differences on conceptually between an FTWZ and a custom bonded warehouse. What would you say are the major differences when I talk about the documentation bit?
See, first, before saying about this, I have to explain about the custom bounded warehouse and free zone again. See,
Okay.
custom bounded warehouse is a temporary duty deferment place. That means when you have imported a material
Mhm.
due to whatever reason, maybe you don't have enough finance to pay the custom duty, or your factory is not ready, your production is delayed or something, or your buyer had backed out, or buyer doesn't have the payment to make you. So in such a situation, you can move the material to a customer warehouse after giving a triple duty bond. So if your goods are 100 rupees value, if the duty approximate 30%, then you have to give the bond for 90% of the product value. If you are importing liquor, duty is 150%,
Okay.
and triple duty bond 450% duty bond you have to triple duty bond you have to give to the customs.
450
400 three times
three
triple duty
times.
bond of the custom duty, and you can move the material after, and sometimes customer demand equivalent to the bond of the solvency certificate.
Okay.
So if you have given 450% bond, triple duty bond to the customs, custom can demand for the solvency certificate equivalent to 450%, and that will be issued by your banker,
Okay.
and that is very tough job.
Is
You have
it?
to, yeah, you have to pay some charges also. Charges, okay, that will be minimum, but your net worth is your solvency. So if you have imported liquor for 1 crore,
Mm-hmm.
then the duty applicable is about 1.5 crore rupees. Then
Okay.
triple duty bond will be 4.5 crore rupees. A solvency certificate also will be equivalent to 4.5 crore rupees.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, the bank you have to have net worth would be 4.5 crore. And next time when you are importing the material, if you are not more than 4.5 crore net worth, then you cannot import the material. Bank will not issue any certificate.
But
So the custom bonded warehouse, when you are meeting the material to custom bonded warehouse, that is only for 90 days, not for 3 months, 90 days. Over and above 90 days, you have to pay 15% interest on the applicable custom duty.
applicable customs duty.
Applicable custom duty, whatever it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 1 crore rupees or 50 lakh rupees, whatever it will be, but you have to pay 15% interest per annum. And maximum warehousing time is only 1 year from the date
Okay.
of import. And you have to have a company in India to use the custom ordered warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Company means you have to have a valid IEC, valid GST number, and everything. That means you are an Indian company, only can use the custom ordered warehouse.
So that means foreign companies do not have an option to use a custom bonded warehouse.
No, they
Okay.
cannot, because when they have exported the material have been exported to a consignee. That means consignee will be an Indian company.
Hmm.
When overseas company is sending the material, they are sending the material in their own name. They don't have
Yes.
any legal entity in India, so they cannot send the material to India without having a consignee. Here, the free zone comes in the picture.
Okay.
So it's a virtual foreign territory. We have a
Yes.
port code status, and it's a virtual foreign territory for customs as well as a GST.
Mm-hmm.
When the goods are coming into the free zone, as I said, in the custom bond warehouse, there is a time limit, 90 days and 1 year. Here, there is no time limit. You can keep the material up to 3 years, and if there is a genuine reason, you can extend the validity also.
Okay.
So, no interest is to be paid, no bond need to be submitted, no solvency certificate is required. You can use the free zone as your own warehouse in general warehouse, but yes, it's controlled one.
Thank you so much, sir. Today we have indeed uncovered how compliances shape the cost efficiency of a supply chain, and there is still a lot more to know. I wish all our listeners can have it all in a single go, but we can continue this conversation in our next part. Until then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please do follow us to get more updates about the next week.